What is good, folks? Triple B's back in the house, back blacker and better than ever, in my case, especially. This is K-Rob in the house. Glad you guys could join us for another wonderful edition. This week we are, unfortunately, sans Jared, the man from Moss River, as work and life has taken him away, as it does. So, just going to be flying with a moderately handsome son of a bitch, Mr. Byron Moss. What is good, brother?
Oh, not much. Oh, you just living that life. And do I get to become honorary black today, considering the music I've been listening to recently?
Not, no, never ever.
Oh, damn.
No. We don't hand out black cards. You are what you are. But hey, depending on how you cook, maybe you can come to the cookout. Long as you don't
I,
put raisins in your potato salad.
I mean, the other night I went full ham and made myself in our Instapot some sweet and spicy chicken thighs. They came on
I-
fire.
Interesting. Now, I will, as the sole proprietor of all things Afro American on this show, will be judging you based on what you season your food with.
Yeah, I mean, it red honey was put in with chicken broth, soy sauce, red pepper flakes, garlic, pepper.
Damn, that's a lot going on.
Yeah, I put it in the Instant Pot for 8 minutes. Let it pressure for 15. Then you make your thick your sauce up on the saute function. Comes out
All
fire.
right. You might have to, well, you could probably get that by me, but most importantly, in my world, you'd have to run that by my mama just to make sure. And you haven't met my mother yet, but Jared knows her quite
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
He and I
and
were actually talking last night about how my mom has like a million adopted white kids
like
that,
I
that
mean, if you know anything about my mother, like God, I don't know how many kids essentially got adopted into our family as we were growing up.
Oh no, totally. I became one of them, and I never even went to your house. I just went to a play at your high school
Yep.
for a date, and she was looking out for me because,
Hmm.
where you went to high school is a little ding
Yeah,
ding 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 ding.
a little.
Hey,
the,
I'm
the,
being generous because I
most
have friends. I have friends from that school.
here's the thing: is it's country as fuck. Like they took pride driving tractors to school.
No, y'all didn't.
Yes, we had tractor day. People would drive tractors to school.
Yeah, that's about the most Twin River shit I think I've ever heard in my fucking life. But no, glad to be joined up with you this week. Like I said, Jared is going to be joining us for the next episode, and
Hopefully.
uh, yeah, hopefully. But he and I do have something that we're excited about within the realm of triple B's. We're going to be. He and I and our lovely friend, the jeweler Matthew Whitworth, we're going to be doing uh, some wrestling discussions here on the show under the title Riffin' and Wrestling, calling them the Riff Daddies because we all got kids. I don't play guitar, but I do have a guitar, but it's gimmicked. It's a wrestling guitar.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff Jarrett, aka Slapnuts. Also, today's show is officially brought to you by As We Are. This is an unofficial sponsorship, but shout out to Yingling. We are beards, brews, and bros. So by God, somebody should be drinking a damn beer on this show. And that would be me. So
I would take a beer with you, but I can't find the only place I found my preferred beer was at a pizzeria on the hill.
dude, I haven't. You know what? I haven't ate at the Hill in years.
Oh, dude, it is. But it's like if you go there at night, it's sketchy as hell because it's just run down. But God, the food there is so good.
Yeah, it is the best Italian I've ever had
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The next time I come to St. Louis and actually spend some substantial time there, I think we do need to make a trip to the Hill and
Just
and, and
make
do
sure
it
you
right.
budgeted the money, dude. It's not
Oh no, I
cheap.
know because it's not cheap. It ain't cheap, and hell, we all on a budget these days. But
Yeah,
uh,
no
so
joke.
so we got a lot to get into today. Folks, we're just kind of shooting from the hip. And by the way, for our international listeners, the Hill, just for some context, if you ever visit here to St. Louis, Missouri, where Byron lives, well, outside of, but if you visit St. Louis, the Hill is where you will find the best Italian on food on planet Earth.
And here's the thing: that whole neighborhood, you can't live there unless you are Italian descent.
is that really the truth?
Yes, you can't live there if you're not of Italian descent or Italian. It is that
Jeez. Oh,
prestigious. So like the food there is authentic as you're gonna get in the United States.
see, now that explains a lot. I remember the first time I ate at the Hill. Actually, I spent a summer in St. Louis. It was 2000. I spent a summer with my uncle Carl. Shout out to him. Still lives in St. Louis, and he took me to a place called Cicero's,
Okay.
and they had this pizza. It's like the pig or something. And keep in mind, I'm 12 at the time. I had never seen a pizza with so much meat pause on it in my entire life, and this thing was thick with two C's. Oh
Yes.
crap! I,
Uh,
I had never ate a pizza with a fork before until then.
for me, my first experience was me and my wife we went and ate at Charlie Guido's. Like,
All
here's how
right.
fancy this place is. You check your coat at the door.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
I end up I can't remember what she had, but I ended up having the lobster ravioli and lobster sauce. It was only
Fancy.
it's only 5 ravioli, but the raviolis were the size of my hand.
Shoot. Did you take it home?
No, I didn't finish that shit off.
All right. Because that sounds heavy, bro.
It really wasn't that heavy, but it was so good. That sauce was rich and creamy. It was
You need to quit that because you know all I've had for breakfast today is a bowl of Crave like Kellogg's Crave cereal.
I had two Pillsbury toaster scrambles.
Ain't bad, ain't bad. Normally I don't eat breakfast.
I usually find something quick and easy I can nuke in the or microwave or make quickly that I can throw my backpack on my way and eat it once I get to work.
Like I'm never up this early, like well, intentionally, only after work.
Uh,
However,
I'm
glad
this is
go,
this is
brother.
a normal thing for me. Although last night I fell asleep so early, I woke up at 3 and go back to sleep till 6.
Yeah, that was me, and then I woke up again at 7 in the morning, and I'm like, I am wide awake. You know what I'm gonna do at 7 a.m.? I'm gonna watch reviews of shitty Steven Seagal movies.
So all of them.
No, oh no, dude. Okay, first off, I got to give shout out to the YouTuber Jason Brand. I found this guy. He has a series called "So Bad It's Good," and he makes his wife and one of his buddies review crappy Steven Seagal movies.
The man
I
is
remember
so fake.
remember one time he tricked his wife into watching one. This one is called "A Good End of a Gun."
Interesting.
Just think
I've never
about it,
heard
and
of it.
the caption says Steven Seagal can't find the sausage in a bowl of Jello.
What? I'm confused. I'm totally confused there.
Like you watch a bunch, you've watched the Gall movies before, right? Like you notice in
Maybe
the
one or
earlier
two.
ones, he's like skinny and kind
Yeah,
of
and then he's
in
shrunken as
shape.
hell
As he
now.
just gets older, he just expands and expands,
Yep.
and he looks like a human garbage bag when
Yeah.
he wears gallon trash bags.
The only one I can really think of I've seen or quasi watched was Against the Dark, which was a fucked up movie to begin with.
So it's this guy and another channel, another YouTube shout out to Space Ice, who does the most hilarious reviews. And I got blessed in the last 2 days. I got two new Seagal videos. This one is Steven Seagal's Absolution is the Steven Seagal of Steven Seagal movies.
Have you, have you ever watched that man do fights or whatnot?
Yes, I
Like
have. Like
it's like
he barely moves.
it's like yeah. The form you're actually using is kind of similar. Like the traditional art you use is kind of similar to that, but in reality, like those people are clearly overselling. It's literally every fight he has is the equivalent
Everything.
of Hogan and Shawn Michaels match.
Oh God, SummerSlam 2005.
Yeah, it's essentially he's Hogan and everybody else is Shawn Michaels. They're overselling everything.
Everyone's got to bounce off of him. And I noticed one thing, and by the way, we don't call him Steven Seagal, we call him Sifu Seagal because of his keto background, and it looks like he's eating all the world's seafood.
Yep.
But you ever notice outside of maybe his first movie, Above the Law, like Steven Seagal never takes a punch, no damage. He's never in peril.
Tell me an actor who has more of an ego than he does.
I don't know one, and it's funny because you would think a dude like him would probably be super insecure. He has the world's highest level of confidence, and he really shouldn't.
No, because like he's a B C list actor at best, honestly. Like he's never put out any movie that's really of any note or worth.
No, well, not true. I mean, okay, he did give us Under Siege, and Under Siege 2 Dark Territory are both good movies. I'll
Okay, so
give
two movies out of his whole filmography.
Above the Law actually was really good, to be fair, as well. Gotta be completely objective before he expanded into Sifu. But that's how I started my day. I'm like, dude, shut up. I got new Seagal movies to review. Oh, this is glorious. Like the YouTube gods have blessed me very well this morning with a bountiful feast of another thing. Watch his movies. You ever notice that Steven Seagal jumps from accent to accent?
I said I've not seen that many, and I said most of the time it's like it's more like their background noise at best.
I don't go out of my way to watch his. Actually, I have not watched a single movie of his end to end since Fire Down Below because we had it on VHS. Shout out and rest in peace to a lot of VCRs in the world. So
Yeah, and those
watching
are
these
actually worth quite a bit
videos,
of money nowadays too.
oh, I imagine I would love to have one because dude, I have VHSs here at the house. Um, but I noticed one thing. He jumps from speaking, streetwise, if you will, and then he'll go into a Creole accent like he's been living in Louisiana his whole life.
What the fuck?
And then he'll just start to mumble. And this could all be within the span of one sentence.
Oh God.
Like, dude, it's a sight to behold. Like, a Seagal movie is the ultimate car crash you cannot stop watching because one car, then another, and another, and another. It just never stops, and it's so bad, and
Oh
everything's cringe.
God.
Everybody dies. No one's happy, except Sifu, as he continues to expand until he encompasses the entire Earth.
Oh God.
Folks, there's all been a lot going on in the world of nostalgia and bringing old nostalgia to the forefront. Dude, they started filming officially Good Burger 2, and it's being filmed in, of all places, Rhode Island. That's a curious, location. I'm sure that makes Keenan and Kel the only two black people in Rhode Island, but meaning they probably covered the entire space of the state of Rhode Island. But that'll be in November on Paramount Plus. It got me thinking about any other movie or TV shows of your childhood that you loved that you would love to see get made into a film or some kind of special on a streaming platform because that's what's in nowadays. I mean, Good Burger 2, according to Keenan, this had been in the works since like 1998. It just never got to get off the ground.
It's production hell. That's a lot of production, a lot of like ideas and IPs get stuck in production hell. I mean, hell, how long did another Mario movie get stuck in production hell?
Oof, yeah,
Uh,
that's a really good point.
God, I'm trying to think. Uh, I, I'm really struggling because like it's hard to really want that because it's so hard, like especially if like 20 30 years have gone by. It's rare that you can capture that magic in a bottle a second time. How many movies have gone like 20 30 years past when the first one came out to get a second one that actually worked? I only think of one. Now it's Maverick worked.
Yeah.
What I gotta think on that one.
See, a movie like Top Gun Maverick, which by the way, best movie of last year, it
Won't win
made
any Academy
Sonic the
Awards.
Hedgehog, huh?
Won't win any Academy Awards.
Well, no, because Everything Everywhere All at Once did, and that deserved it. That's all right. See, Top Gun Maverick to me epitomizes what a summer blockbuster should be and feel like, what
Yes.
we grew up with. I felt watching that movie made me feel every time it does, it makes me feel like I'm sitting in the Rogers Theater in the mid 90s on like a hot ass June or July. Uh,
Yep.
and major shout out back home to the legendary Rogers Theater, still in business, still rolling today. But that's what it made me feel like. Like I remember, okay, was it 1995? I saw in theaters Casper. I can
Good
vividly
movie.
remember. Yeah, it is. I can vividly remember every movie I saw at the Rogers Theater, but that's how Top Gun Maverick made me feel like I'm at the Rogers or the Mansion Mall, that movie theater
Yep.
way back in the day, or something like that, or even
Yep.
Pokemon the first movie at Showplace
Oh,
8.
I remember that. That was
Like
such a rush.
get lost in the movie, which is what Tom Cruise wanted you to do. And yeah, there was a 36-year bridge between the first film and Maverick, but it never felt out of place. It didn't feel like, a fish out of water. Everything fit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how summer films should be. But like when you're like when we're thinking about like staples from our childhood that did get films, obviously Power Rangers the movie definitely did. We had Pokemon and 1995's Mortal Kombat, which I still say is better than the one we got in 2021, even though that's good.
Yeah, again, it's the '95 film for its era hit checked off everything you could possibly do. It was great. The new one, if they hadn't put a new fucking character that nobody asked for in, would have been phenomenal.
I'm thinking with Cole Young that there's more to it, and he's going to
It's
turn into
so
somebody.
no. The thing is, what I've done enough research into this, and I've looked into this. The reason they created Cole Young was they wanted to make it open for people who are not familiar with the franchise. They want to be like, you are going to ride along with this brand new character who has no idea what's going on, and you're going to learn about everything just as he learns about it. I'm sitting here thinking like, the people who are going to see
That's
Mortal Kombat are the ones who know Mortal Kombat.
exactly that's who the target audience is. Dude, that's stupid as hell. That's really dumb.
I mean,
Like
in the
it's
last 20
not
years, is Hollywood ever done anything smart?
give credit where it's due for
I'll give them
certain
credit
things.
in a few areas, but like as a whole, Hollywood is simply grasping at straws.
When it comes to video game titles being translated to film, just give them the game in movie form. Don't reinvent a wheel that doesn't need reinvented
But don't
unless it's absolutely necessary.
don't you know that Hollywood writers think they can do better than uh what's already out there?
No, see, when it comes
Hollywood writers have the biggest fucking ego in the world.
since when it comes to game movies, those properties need to be in the hands of somebody who knows the source material, is a fan of the source material, and will respect the source material. That is
That never
why
happened.
whenever it gets done, the Metal Gear Solid movie, I am guaranteeing is going to be incredible because Jordan Vaught Roberts did not write a script that he knew Hideo Kojima would not approve of. So he ran it by the man and got his blessing. And that is more than enough for me.
Yeah.
Way more than enough. Now, who he casts is going to be very important, but that's the thing. That's why a lot of game movies suck, is because the source material is not being respected to its fullest capacity, and the people working on the film
Oh,
aren't
we could get
fans.
that's a whole can of worms we could open up. I mean, hell, the Halo series is a big example of the source material not being respected.
Now, I haven't watched any of that show on Paramount.
I have not, but here's the thing: we see Master Chief's face,
Oh no, no.
and Master Chief has some apparently what I've heard, what Master Chief has some kind of love interest or whatnot. It's like the dude
Oh
was
my
it's like
God.
I'm sorry, the Spartan program, when it was created, these were literally kids who were taken cybernetically enhanced, and they pretty much had next to no emotion beyond complete the mission.
God damn it.
Like I said, it's
You're
yeah.
I can't words right now. I can't word. That is stupid as shit.
Yeah.
So, however, can I counter with a source material that's been respected? Castlevania on Netflix. That one's been
Yes.
done right by.
Yes. It kept. It also, I think it went a little bit harder than the games.
Basically they expanded on the imagination you as a child had the first time you played Castlevania, because what you're playing on the screen and what's playing in your mind is a lot more vivid than what's on the screen because of technology at the time.
I mean, even in modern day, whatnot, like the games were never that gory, but like
No,
they really took the idea of this is a fucked up time, fucked up place. It is horrible. Let's make it horrible,
I think what
and
they
it was
borrowed from
beautiful.
was the Lords of Shadow games,
I would
where
say
you play
they
where you
lead
play as
more towards The
Dracula.
Witcher. I said they lean more towards the Witcher style.
No, I agree there as well. But like in terms of borrowing elements from the games, Lords of Shadow is essentially they're the prequel games to Castlevania, where you play as Dracula as he becomes.
Okay.
And those are M-rated games. They're not friendly whatsoever. But Castlevania as a source material was greatly respected,
Mm-hmm.
and as a cornerstone franchise in the history of video games during the ascension of video games into pop culture in the 80s, that one's been done right by. It took 30 years, but with Super Mario Brothers, we finally got it right.
Yep. Trying to think another one that was mishandled.
Oh, there's
Fuck.
plenty, dude.
I'm just
Street
trying to think.
Fighter.
That's because of Jean Claude.
Not just because. I recommend watching the What Happened video from Matt McMuscles on YouTube. Another shout out there to a great YouTuber. Check that out. But he had a lot to do with it. Don't we know that much? But there was a lot more to it. I found out that Hasbro had a hand in how the movie was presented because they wanted action figures to sell, and they didn't want them to look like the characters in the video game.
Don't even get me started with Hasbro.
Oh! Do we have a soapbox? You got
Oh
something?
no, no. The thing is, Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast, and I don't even get me started on Wizards of the Coast and
Oh,
Hasbro, and
oh,
how Hasbro is literally milking their one IP because nothing else they have is successful.
so I really don't want to get you hot this early in the morning, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like I've ranted about Hasbro and whatnot. Just all I can say is Hasbro as a company is trash.
Okay, Zach Morris. All right then. Um, damn. I,
Assassin's Creed wasn't even handled that well. Forgot about that one.
oh no, that was a bad one as well. Another one that hurt my heart is Max Payne with Mark Wahlberg. Absolutely love that franchise. I always say in terms of story, it is the best Rockstar has ever done.
Yeah,
Not sorry, Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
But that was another bad one. I mean, Dead or
Honestly,
Alive sucked. Was
yeah.
another.
Honestly, an IP that I'm hoping gets redeemed, and I'm hoping Disney doesn't go because they have Rick Riordan there. The Percy Jackson series.
All right.
They're doing a live action. It's been in production for a while. They're doing a live action uh, TV series on Disney Plus, and Rick Riordan has a hand in how it's going to be done. And I'm hoping it works well. Fingers crossed, because the movies were very lackluster. And also, the biggest controversy in the whole thing and whatnot is the person they cast is Annabeth.
Okay, what was your issue there?
I don't have any issue with it. If we talk about that issue, like really get delved into the issue, it's going to delve into a political thing. But
Hmm.
in the book, Annabeth is a white girl. In the TV series, they're casting her as a black girl.
I don't see an issue with that as long as the performance equals out.
I'm okay with it because Rick Riordan came out and stated she has the personality and the gumption and all that of the character. So it's like, you know what? I'm willing to respect the author if he's going to be like, yes, this person fits the role. I have no problems.
All right. Now, that just really got me thinking, and also I still haven't seen Super Mario Brothers the movie, and I know I need to.
So we needed
Uh,
to watch. We just also need to watch Party with the three of us.
yeah, we all do. Well, Jared's already seen it with Layla, you know.
Like he won't watch it again.
Well, no, this is the dude. This is the dude who he's the only human being I know who actually has dressed up as Luigi for Halloween.
Facts. I've seen it.
Hey, but remember the year Luigi sucked. Sorry, Jared. It's true. Those games were bad. Except Luigi's Mansion. Shout out. Great game. A lot of other stuff going on. We had some big gaming news get dropped this week, to say the least. I I have to mention one of my old coworkers at Walmart who I thought was bullshitting me because he knows how sensitive I am when it comes to Metal Gear. So I wake up a few days ago and shout out to my buddy Jeremy. He lives in Kansas, worst place on earth. And he says, "Dude, did you see the trailer for the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake?" And I'm like, "Dude, whatever. That's not true." And also, I'm still waking up, so I don't fully believe him anyway.
Yeah.
But get on Facebook, and then I see it, and then I audibly scream. And nobody's in the house with me. So I screamed very loudly because I could not believe this was actually happening. And it's gorgeous. And it's called Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. It's a full remake of the game, but everything is going to be retained. Story will not be tampered with. The original story will not, but there's a possibility of expanding on the story of the game in terms of tying some loose ends together from other games.
Hey,
If
that's not a bad thing.
No, not at all. With the canon of because Metal Gear Solid 3, in terms of canon, is the origin of the franchise, but it was revealed in Metal Gear Solid 5 that there were background players from that game that were helping assist with the mission in number 3. So I'm okay with that. Visually, it's absolutely stunning. I saw the trailer on IGN, just freaking beautiful. All the voice actors are returning. Now, that's really big, but my question is that game came out in 2005, so how well can everybody return to those voices where, hey, this version of Snake, this is Big Boss, he's younger. The guy, love David Hayter, he is the goat of voice acting and gaming as far as I'm concerned for only doing one voice. That's all that matters. But can at an older age you do that voice a little younger? I mean, there's a lot of questions to be asked.
Here's the thing. As long as the voice matches up in some form or fashion, doesn't matter.
You're right. You're right. And with the fact that everybody is returning, where you also have Lori Allen, who voiced in only one game the greatest female character in the history of video games, the most powerful badass, without it being put upon that. We're making sure you know that we're putting it in your face that she is one. The boss, aka the Joy. She absolutely beats Snake's ass sideways until you have to fight her at the very end, and she makes you kill her, and it breaks your heart. And I cried when I beat that game for the first time. I have no shame in saying so. So that game absolutely has me through the roof. Originally this year, I only planned to buy Mortal Kombat 1. That was the rule. One game this year, EA Sports College Football next year. Period. But this shit dropped. It will come out on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, and I believe Xbox Series consoles only and Steam. Cannot freaking wait. Do
I
you
hope
have
I hope
anything?
I said I hope the Steam port is done well enough where it's not going to cause issues like the last several ports have.
See, I have never played a game off of Steam, so why don't you fill me in? Have you ever had any issues using Steam?
I've never had issues with using Steam because most of the games I play are only on Steam or like they're primarily like made for the computer. Like
Okay.
here's the thing: if there's a game I want for the console, I get it for the console. If there's a game I want for the PC, I get it for the PC. The
Fair.
only overlay really is some of the old Star Wars games. Like I've got National Republic 2 and Republic Commandos on my PC. I would like to get a controller to play Republic Commandos because mouse and whatnot just doesn't feel the same to me.
Uh-huh.
And when I played it originally, played it with a controller. So
I
and it's
personally do not know how people can just play games strictly with a mouse.
oh, it just depends on the game. Like I said, I think it's kind of it depends on the feel. Like I played Valorant with the mouse and it's fine.
Uh-huh.
It's a whole different feel. Like instead of like using two fingers to keep your aim in a certain way, it's just one.
Okay. See,
It's just a little bit adjusting.
fair. With PC gaming, with me, I do emulation primarily. Eventually, if once I get this bad boy up to juiced up to where I want it to be, then I'll dig into doing some actual PC gaming, with Steam and stuff, because I have a lot of games on my Series X that I would like to play in even higher resolution and fidelity on PC. you know Batman Arkham Knight is one, because I did play that on PC one time with one of my buddies. He's got a monster PC, and I went back home and I played it on my console, and it was the equivalent of playing an Atari 2600 by comparison. And I said, okay, yeah, I have a goal now. Geez, that's one of those you just can't go back
Yeah.
on.
Oh, I just saw. I was thinking about something or whatnot, and I just looked up an article. Not sure how accurate it is, but apparently the Prince of Persia remake is they're starting from scratch.
Scratch, huh? Well,
So
go ahead.
everything they had previously, they're just said, nope. It got so Prince Persia Sands of Time remake got announced back in 2020, and apparently there's been so many issues and whatnot in the gaming world with games and whatnot, like getting anything done. To be 100% honest,
Yeah.
uh, that apparently they're going to start from scratch.
Interesting. All right.
And
How do you feel about that? I know you're a big fan of the Prince of Persia franchise, a straight rebuild from the ground up.
when it comes to remakes, and as much as I'd love to play like an updated graphics or whatnot,
Uh huh.
if you're doing a remake, don't change the elements of the game.
Keep everything at the core the core
Don't
the
change
fundamental core.
story. Don't change story. If you want to change the combat a little bit, that's fine. Like personally, the first game's combat was very linear and got kind of stale towards the end of the game.
Uh huh.
The second and third game combat was significantly better. It was more fluid, much more versatile, what you could do. Uh, but if you're going to update a game, you update the right things. If you want to say update that maybe the combat elements or whatnot, but you don't update the story and the core elements of it. If you change it, it's not the same game.
That I completely agree with. As long
And
as you keep the core the same and make fundamental changes.
yeah, and speaking of games going into hiatus or whatnot, the another game that's very near and dear to my heart, Star Wars Knights of the Republic remake is officially in hell.
Uh oh.
So don't know if or that's ever going to take off or whatnot. Personally, I'm fine with that. Honestly, I am 100% fine with that never happening.
So you would much prefer it just never happen.
Yeah, it's because here's the thing. I'm afraid that what's going to happen is they're going to take it the way a lot of people praise the remake of what's it called? Dead Space.
Interesting. All right.
But they changed so much of the elements of the game and story that I'm just like, you know what? A remake is essentially you're taking an old game, updating a few elements, but you don't change the story, you don't change key elements. Like I said, I've not played the remake. I only ever played the original. I only probably ever played the original because a remake has to be outrageously something I was near to my heart. And Dead Space was great, but it's not something I really super on board with. Like I said, if they came out with a remake, the two remakes that really for me I want or would want to buy would be Star Wars: Knights of the Republic one and Prince of Persia because I have played so much of those games. Like I literally have original copies, Xbox copies of the original Prince of Persia trilogy and Knights of the Republic 1 and 2.
Still have them? Hell yeah,
Still
dude.
have them. I mean, I had to get
Nice.
a new copy or go get a different copy of my Warrior Within because I don't know what will happen to it. But I now have all three of the original ones sitting on my shelf. So like for me, it's like if you can't do the game justice, especially a game like Knights of the Republic, I just told you about it. I just look real quick.
Yeah,
Also,
I'll take a look.
no, it's Metacritics real quick.
Let's see, Kotar remake. Let's see what we got
No,
here.
it's no, I'm looking at the original Metacritic score for Knights of the Republic.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Metacritic. Oh, go away. Stupid pop-ups. Hate it. Yeah.
And so Metacritic score of a 93, user score 90. If you
Jeez.
can't do a game like that justice on a remake, don't touch it.
Yeah, because there's no way you can make this better.
Yeah, or to make it better, you're gonna have to pull some fucking magic out of your ass.
All right, look at this. Number two best PC game of 2003, most discussed PC game, ranked number one, and most shared of 2003. Critic reviews 100s, 98, 97, 93, 91. Someone gave it a GamePro gave it an 80, whatever. I used to get GamePro magazine like
Snobs.
hella religiously. So I just came across an article I want to run by you. It is a top 10 from IGN. As you're an anime guy, you and Jared, and I think it will be fun to have him in on this too. But I want to know your thoughts. This is the 10 best horror anime of all time.
Shoot.
All right, so let's see what we got. The first one now. Forgive me if I do butcher names by any means. Number 10, we have Theater of Darkness, Yami Shibai from in 2013.
Can you send me the link real quick so I can I
Yeah,
can
I can check this. Yeah, I'll shoot this over to you. Number 9 is one I know you're very familiar of, and I've heard of, Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul is a very gory and twisted anime. It unfortunately it falls in the realm of it very like verged from the source material at times, like out of
Uh-huh.
order. So like it's kind of like
All right, let's see. Number 8, Devilman
oh,
Crybaby.
oh god, that I watched that. Oh my god, it is a mind fuck.
See for the photo I'm looking at right here, the dude's teeth are hella creepy, and he's got a pointy ass nose. So yeah, I'm good on it. Number 7, Paranoia Agent.
I never watched that one. But
Okay, it's a
real
2000.
quickly, the number 10 was Theater of Darkness Yamashibai, I think is what it's called.
Okay, yes, yeah, I tried to.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Yeah, number 7, Paranoia Agent would be one worth. For anything you haven't seen here, would be worth checking out. Number 6, Parasite.
Yep. I've never seen it, but it's a I know it's a very uh a lot of these are like a lot of animes are kind of like lighthearted and it's like tend to be like, oh yeah, in the end, happy ending. But a lot of these, like, there's not really a happy ending, or if it is, it's a fuck fest to get to. Like, it's with Devil May Cry Baby. There's no happy ending in that show.
Oh no
It
no
is.
no
I watched it. Like, there's literally a scene towards the end where all hell breaks loose. One of the side female characters that's really close to the main character. You see her head on a pole.
no. Ooh, oh shit.
Yup, and it's like these people are like going crazy. Whatnot? They're like waving around her head on a pole.
Yo, that's
Yeah,
fucked up.
yeah, and
All right, so back to the list. Number 5 is Helsing from 2001.
oh, I've tried getting Helsing. I really have. I can't. Like it's just
What's keeping you from investing into it?
the story is just it just doesn't. I don't know. It's just the story. It just I don't like. It doesn't. Eh.
All right, number 4, Perfect Blue, our first 90s anime on the list.
I've never seen this one either. I've seen some of these, but not all of them.
Okay, number 3 from 2000, Boogie Pop Phantom. That sounds like an awesome band name.
Interesting.
Number 2, Higurashi When They Cry, 2006. Familiar with that one?
I've seen a little bit of this one. It is weird.
Okay, it says you can watch it on High Dive. That's a platform I'm not familiar with. And number 1 is one I think even the most casual of anime people is going to know, Death Note.
Here's the thing: a lot of people don't even consider the second season, or when L took over, or M, I can't remember which one. M took over as the main antagonist to the protagonist, as and whatnot.
And
Uh,
just happen to find another one, another IGN here, and I'm just kind of and definitely giving them a shout out for some great content today. Video game urban legends. Before we get into discussing this, what can you think of any urban legends that you heard as a kid that you actually
yep.
believed?
Yes.
Go ahead.
In Pokemon Red and Blue, if you don't get the HM cut from the captain and you surf left, I don't know if you ever played it, but you surf right of the
Have
boat,
not.
there's a truck there. The rumor was if you move the truck, Mew's there.
All right, interesting.
You can't do anything with that truck. I've tried. You can't do anything there. And it came to be like it was a myth.
So the first one I remember believing, and of course, when you're a child of the '90s, you want to, and you don't have access to magazines and stuff like that. You kind of want to see boobs anywhere you can. And there was the urban legend of there being a nude code in Mortal Kombat, the game notorious for Easter eggs and hidden cheats or codes and everything like that. There was
Yep.
always a rumor, and there will be somebody at school who claimed that they put in the right code and made everybody naked. That is some stupid shit, but I actually believe that roughly about 7 years old, which was right before Mortal Kombat 3 came out in 1995. But that just really got me thinking. Another one was from Street Fighter 2. The and I know you're not big on one-on-one fighters, but with Street Fighter 2, every time you'd win a match or the match would end,
Yep.
and they'd have like a little winning message from the
Yep.
person that beat you or whatever. And I think it was Ryu, and it would always say, "You must defeat Shang Long to have a chance against me." And everybody would ask, "Who the hell is Shang Long?" Like it's got to be like a boss character or something like that. The way they debuted a Kuma or a Bison. They're
Yep.
real. But Shang Long was always believed to be like Ryu's master or something. And GamePro ran with this so hard one time, they released an April Fool's fucking issue with Shang Long on it. And people actually swear that they fought him on M. Bison's stage in Street Fighter 2. And like I
I
saw sprites and everything that was supposed to
Yep.
be like a dude and a
Yep.
gi and everything and all this shit. Um, like those are the two big ones for me. But also being a big sports gamer, there is no bigger urban legend than the Madden curse.
Oh yeah.
I know not everybody believes in curses. Listen, I've been watching sports 30 years virtually. Um, I'm superstitious when it comes to things like during hockey season when the Blues are in the playoffs. I don't shave unless they get eliminated. That is what
Mhm.
we do because the players don't shave. The playoff beard is a sign of attrition. You don't shave until you're done. Or I know, guy, like there was a player who played for the former Washington Redacteds Hall of Fame cornerback Darrell Green. Always played every game with a Tootsie Roll in his sock for good luck.
I
The
mean,
Madden, yeah,
there's just so many different ones, like the rally cap in baseball.
that shit works. You can't tell me it doesn't.
uh,
You absolutely can't. Oh, the rally squirrel. Never forget the rally squirrel.
he made there was a squirrel made appearance. I think it was a Yankees game this year.
Nice. I love when animals get on the field, by the way. But like, back to the mat.
Except for the two birds that got killed this year so far.
Oof. Hey, at least they didn't get the Randy Johnson treatment. But the
Close. These are balls off the bat.
yeah, but well, that would come back at a faster speed depending on how the balls hit.
Yep.
But the Madden curse, I have no choice but to believe for the longest time it was absolutely real. Okay, I've been playing Madden since the 90s. I don't play it anymore unless they absolutely make something that's worth my time. Also, can we get another company to make NFL games to make the people at EA make a better game? But I digress. John Madden, God rest his soul, the man who is to me, John Madden is football, always will be. He
Agreed.
used to be on the cover of all the games, and for people who didn't know at the time, he was the color commentator for Fox, legendary head coach. Once they started putting players on the cover, things started to happen to these guys.
They get injured or careers would fall off.
Or they would just have, or just have either a terrible season, and some of them had long, lingering effects after the fact. Now, the first guy I specifically remember being hit by the Madden curse. This was Madden 2002 on PlayStation 2, Xbox, and everything like that. And it was Minnesota Vikings quarterback Dante Culpepper. This guy, the previous year, he was drafted in 1999. His first year as starter in 2000, he led the Vikings to the NFC Championship game, one game short of the Super Bowl. 2001, the year he's on the cover, he leads the NFL in fumbles.
Oy.
Next year, Marshall Faulk, running the two-time league MVP running back for the St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf. I'm a Rams fan. Favorite football team, greatest offense to ever step on a football field. Fight me, you won't win. He comes off of an MVP season in 2001. Rams go to the Super Bowl. We lost to, the precious Tom
Patriots
Brady, yada yada. I believe there's
by
conspiracy.
a field goal.
I honestly believe 9/11 caused the Patriots to win, for a feel good, but I digress. That's a weird, stupid thing that I believe. But 2001, he wins the league MVP. 2002 is the first year he does not rush for 1,000 yards. He gets injured. The Rams miss the playoffs. The next year, Michael Vick. Michael Vick is the guy who broke Michael
Oh,
Vick broke Madden. He was a 95 speed quarterback. And Michael Vick on that game was like Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl. You were not
yep.
allowed to play with the Atlanta Falcons in Madden '04. And he breaks his leg in the preseason.
And
In the
then
freaking preseason.
and then all the other shit that came out.
The next year, he led them to the NFC Championship game, but yeah, then he got involved with with something
Dogfighting.
where yeah, we're not going to get into that. Michael redeemed himself in life. I will just say that. And also, on an aside, listening to him talk to Shannon Sharp on his podcast Club Shay Shay and his testimonial and everything, he said every day in prison, he's like, I cried because he knew that he was around the wrong people. Michael's done right in his life. The worst example of the Madden curse is Antonio Brown. Madden 19. It is fitting. There's a picture of a broken foot in the corner of the game's box for the Frostbite engine. This dude froze his feet. He is a loon. He went from being the best receiver in the NFL to out of the league. The dude literally took off his shoulder pads during a game and left.
I remember that.
Dude's crazy. The
Like
curse is a hit and it's
it's
a hit and
real.
miss.
It's it's
It's a
it's
hit and
real.
miss. How
It's
about
real.
this? We'll get into some other ones. Let's take a look at
I
this.
have another one for you. Another Pokemon one. I
Go ahead.
remembered.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was a rumor that if when you're trying to catch a Pokemon, uh, and you press down and B, like mash it, it turns any ball into a Master Ball.
Now how true? What did you believe
It's
that?
not true. Believe me, I did it all the time. Whether it worked or not, I tried it.
Whoa!
Uh,
What is this?
uh, here's one. Here's another fun Pokemon. There's and I will say it works about 85% of the time. So there's a YouTuber out there, big Pokemon YouTuber. His name's Game Boy Luke. Shout out to him.
Uh huh.
When you're catching Pokemon, after the second shake, you say Game Boy Luke, guaranteed catch. It just works.
What?
I don't question it. I've tried it. It's worked about 85% of the time for me.
That's absolutely nuts.
And
But you're
there's people who have out there who like played randomizers or whatnot, get a Pokemon low, throw a Pokeball, two shakes, a Game Boy Luke, catch legendary. I'm like, it just works.
okay. Before I read what I'm going to read, I'm looking at this list, and you mentioned Pokemon. Pokemon's Deadly Lavender Town music. What do you know about this?
I think I've heard about it. I just don't remember much.
It says, okay, as the world of Pokemon has expanded, it's become more cute and colorful for players old enough to remember. Lavender Town and Pokemon Red and Blue, or Green in Japan, on the original Game Boy, is home to the infamous Pokemon Graveyard,
Yep,
reminding
Lavender
all
Tower.
players that yes, your Pokemon will die because nothing in the world is fair. Making matters more unsettling is the eerie, high pitched minimalist music from composer Junichi Masuda that plays as you pass through the town. It was so unnerving that, according to the legend, the original Japanese versions of Red and Blue caused the death of several children who played it. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I've never heard that before.
Known
That's
around the internet as Lavender Town Syndrome, the legend varied in the telling, but the general thrust was that it caused children to have a mental break. Of course,
it's
there are no
very
confirmed
creepy music.
records. Dude,
Like,
this is nuts.
have you ever heard it?
No.
Well, let's listen to it. It is some creepy music.
We'll have to check that out after the show,
Uh,
but this is the one that got my attention. Saddam Hussein tried to use the PS2 to take over the world. Like, fuck out of here. Listen to this shit. It's hard to imagine the PS2 was once considered the pinnacle of console hardware. In fact, 32-bit CPUs at the time were so powerful that it spurned a terrifying urban legend that capitalized on geopolitical issues that may ring freaky today. The legend goes that with the release of the PS2 in 2000, October 7th, Saddam Hussein and the Iraq government bought thousands of them with the intent of harvesting the processors and using them in their own weapons of mass destruction, as this supposedly would have been the easiest way to get a hold of the expensive high tech material.
I mean, he was crazy enough. I believe it.
Dude, you know why I don't believe that? Because Hideo Kojima would have made a game off of it already. Play Metal Gear Solid 2, that dude predicted so much
I mean,
that's around now in the last decade. Here's another one, and this actually ties into one of the eeriest episodes of Angry Video Game Nerd I've ever seen about the arcade game Polybius.
I've never
If
heard of it.
I hadn't either until I watched this one, and I want to say James Rolfe made it into like a two-parter, and it was some creepy, creepy stuff. The CIA designed a mind control arcade game.
I
You
mean,
should, it's
it would
wild.
surprise me. It would not surprise me at all.
It's wild. Let's see. We have Diablo's Secret Warrior Cows. Fighting cows. We had that in Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa already.
I
The San Andreas Sasquatch.
think I've heard of that one.
All right, here we get to the one of my favorite ones, as we mentioned earlier. Shang Long was a secret boss in Street Fighter 2.
Yep.
The rumor was bolstered by an April Fool's joke in the April '92 issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly that claimed they had discovered how to unlock the secret boss. All you had to do was beat the whole game without taking any damage and not land a single punch on M. Bison at the end, meaning you must let the timer run out. This was eventually corrected in the user manual for the Super Nintendo port, wherein the design team got in on the joke and named Shenlong as Ryu's master, which was actually that was retconned when it was proven that Gen was his master, and later
Yep.
incorporated him into a Street Fighter comic series. I didn't know that. Hitting at a time when the gaming industry was building into the forces become the Legend of Shenlong. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, we're going to read that one. This was bullshit. To this day, you can't convince me this doesn't work. Blowing on your Nintendo cartridge actually did something. Oh,
Yes.
no. Oh, no. That absolutely works.
Yes.
Kiss my ass.
Yes. Yeah. No. I mean, there's a couple other things like, uh, if like you're in a game, you're really struggling, you have to like sit forward and like
Yep.
get in that position. And
These
if you
things matter because
you
you feel that the game feels you.
that or like you're like driving a car, or whatnot, and you're like it's really intense. You're like you turn this, you turn sharper.
Exactly, because you got to lean the way I lean, damn it.
Yep.
Come on, man. Let's
Uh,
see. This is what it says. Anyone who grew up with cartridge based gaming has run into the same problem at one point. You pop in a cartridge, and for some reason, nothing seems to be working. You take out the cartridge, give it a good blow, thinking the problem might be dust in the cartridge, and presto, it's working again.
yep.
But blowing on the cartridge actually ever effective, or is it something that made its way around the playground? I didn't even learn that at the playground. I learned that at home just by watching. We had a NES.
Yeah.
My brother's dad did this with I want to say it was like Contra or Double Dribble on the NES, and it worked. So
Uh.
don't tell me
Yeah.
otherwise. Turns
When I
out
was
this,
when I was in
yeah.
daycare, we had an NES we could play, and we did that.
See, you can't convince me this does not work. It says,
Does
turns
it?
out
Is
the
it?
trick that made you feel like a genius wasn't really doing anything. While
Uh,
the blowing gave our brains some sort of comfort, the reality is that Nintendo's connectors in the system could often wear out over time, especially in the NES, but simply taking out the cartridge and putting it back tended to do the job. Though that didn't stop each and every one of us from taking deep breaths and fixing them ourselves. I don't care. That works.
there's a Robot Chicken episode where like I talked about this or whatnot, and essentially new game got bought and said hey, the game's old game, like, hey, listen, that little kick pin you have in you, take loosen it up and whatnot. And he's like, why? Just trust me. Does it? And then the game's not working. The kid blows in it, and then cartridge is going, "Oh my god, yes!"
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Like I will not be convinced that that shit is not real.
yep.
Whatever, you know.
There's
Or here's
so
another
many.
one. No, here's another one I want to throw at you. Do you remember the first time like that the first time in a game you saw like a decapitation or anything? Like what was the first shocking thing you saw in a game, or if you accidentally did a fatality when you're like 8?
I never got to see fatalities or whatnot. The most shocking thing I saw in a game.
The first time.
Oh God, you're making me really have to think here. Honestly, like the first time I saw fatality, like first time I ever saw the fucking PC do a or the AI do a fatality on me, I was like, what the fuck? Like I was playing Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super NES, and I was playing as Jax. I lost the match or whatever, and the AI did the fucking finisher where he grows big and crushed you with his foot.
Oh, Jax. I hated that fatality. That was stupid.
I was
But
like, I was
yeah.
like, I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? But like,
Yo,
the only time I ever did a fatality was it was at my cousin's house. We were playing one of the newer Mortal Kombat. I can't remember which one. I was playing Nightwolf. I pulled a fatality and it was gory as hell.
oh, it wasn't Mortal Kombat for me. It was playing Killer Instinct. Like when you're a kid, you're just pressing buttons, especially if you're playing against an adult. And
Yep,
also, as an adult, the worst thing as an adult gamer is for a kid to beat you when they don't know what they're doing.
that's the
And
when they're just butt smashing. You get like you actually have somebody do what you're doing. They're butt smashing. They beat you. Oh, it's so frustrating.
yeah, but as a kid, it's the one thing you get to hold over their heads for
Yep.
like ever and ever. So we're playing Killer Instinct, which was back in the days of renting consoles. That was like the go-to rental game in the house. Playing my brother's dad. Shout out, to Mr. Edward McCrae, and he always used TJ Combo without fail because that was the dude. Honestly, I have the soundtrack to Killer Instinct 1995. It's so dope, Killer Cuts. Anyway, so I'm always the kid that's jumping around on the screen because I don't know what I'm doing with the character
Yep.
on the ground. So you want to jump to try to get a little bit of something going.
Yep.
And I accidentally did an ultra combo to dude, and it was one of those where he almost broke the controller. That was freaking amazing. The Ultra combo was harder to pull off in Killer Instinct than doing any fatality in a Mortal Kombat game because like you could always look them up in magazines back in the day, but the
And
input,
down the road, they eventually put them. Actually, you can pause the game, look up your fatality, and then
which I think
do.
sucks.
I don't. I like that element where it's like you have an airway you can actually like find it. Because like here's the thing, how to constantly look up what fatalities. Back in the day, yeah, you had to look it up. You had to write down all your fatalities or your cheat
Yeah,
codes, whatever. But having it where like nowadays you can actually it's easy to find. It's better that way you actually can learn it.
absolutely. As opposed to, oh, I'm just gonna, pause the game. And that's another thing that chaps my ass as a gamer is that you can pause Mortal Kombat. Back then you couldn't pause Mortal Kombat. It was you
Unless you
better do
quit.
it right then and there.
No, like God, do you remember back in like the days of the early stuff, and whatnot, like how cheesy that shit was?
Oh, no question.
Uh,
Every game had cheese characters.
well, not
They
cheese
still
characters, like
do.
cheese moves. Like Mortal Kombat 3, in my personal opinion, has the biggest cheese bullshit in the game. Like, did you
I'm
ever
not a
play
fan
like
of MK3 as much.
it's what we had for the Super NES? So, but
Uh-huh.
like, did you ever like play against somebody and they just crouch down the whole time and just try to uppercut you the whole damn time? Or you
Yeah.
sit there and just be like both trying to see who can get the uppercut, or they butt smash the punch button and you couldn't get close enough to them.
Now, the last time I sat down with anybody and played MK3 regularly was with Jessie, my daughter's mother, when we were together, and she would always beat me with Sindel, and it would drive me nuts. And I said, I can't stand this game. She said, No, you just suck at it. Which is partially that it like I here's my problem with Mortal Kombat 3. I like the game absolutely, but it tried to be Killer Instinct. They added an extra wheel to the vehicle that did not
Yeah.
fit by adding combos and the ability to run. It didn't
Yeah.
feel natural,
Yeah.
but the fatalities in that game were pretty gnarly, especially
My
hers.
older brother Bobby, he all he would play is fucking Sub Zero. So here's what he did.
Sub Zero and MK3 is pretty freaking cheap
He would button smash the standing punches, so like you can't get close to him, and then he'd spam the freeze.
every time. Now there was two ways to freeze on there with the forward projectile and
The
shoots
straight
the
up and
ice
down.
up. Yeah.
He would do the up and down and like essentially you try to get close to me, I'm punching you the whole time. Oh, now you get close to me, freeze up. Oh, you're frozen. I hit you. All right, uppercut you. Although I was a bit of a cheeser myself. Do you remember
We're all
Cyrax?
guilty of it.
Well, you remember Cyrax, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know how he had a slam in that game, right?
Yes.
If I could connect one slam on you, I could slam you to your health bars gone.
I might want to beat your ass for real.
No, it was no. My brother pissed me off. I connected him. I connect the slam and he slam it over and over. He gets so pissed. Like you're sitting there spamming freeze and punches. Don't you talk to me?
And you know
Oh,
what? Like I said, I might have had to fought you then. But we're all guilty of it because most people try to find that shortcut with that one character.
yep.
We're all guilty. It's like playing Tekken and using Horong just because like he's all kicks and everything and he's got long reach. So I totally get that.
Or Keelik in
Helix into Soul
I
Calibur. I
I
hate playing Jared in Soul Calibur because that's all he uses.
Keelik was my main.
He was Jared's main, and what was it? I think it was Soul Calibur 5, which sucks. Um,
I only
and
ever
he
played Soul
always
Calibur 2.
that's the best one, dude.
I still think we have a copy of that somewhere.
Get a copy. You got a GameCube, don't you?
No, this is for Xbox, dude. This was
Oh,
Spawn.
Spawn. Now I haven't played that version.
I think
Um,
it's somewhere at my mom's house. I just have to find it.
See, I would jump on that. Uh, Now I had the PS2 version, which had Heihachi Mishima as
Yep.
the special guest character, and he didn't have a weapon or anything. Didn't need one. Soul Cal 2 is so goated.
Because
Jeez, what a
it was
beauty.
so cool because like each console had exclusive.
Yeah.
Xbox had Spawn, PlayStation had,
Heihachi Mishima from Tekken.
and then I believe uh, GameCube had Link.
They had Link because I have that game. And I called Jared one day when I finally played it because all I'd ever played was the PS2 version. Number one, the GameCube version looks 10 times better and it plays 10 times better. Because I always dismissed GameCube because I like my tournament fighters at the time, and I just always felt that wasn't conducive outside of Smash. I
Yep.
didn't think it was going to play a really good game. Lo and behold, holy crap!
It's
That C
number
stick is butter.
uh like Soul Calibur 2 has probably got some of the best game flow one and so many characters.
Yeah, and also the stages are gorgeous. The music's great. Now, if you're gonna full remake a fighting game, do that one. I'm cool with that.
Nah, they'll just continue. They'll just continue the cycle. Has Soul Calibur? Has it been Soul Calibur in years?
Not in a while. I think six. When did six come out? Because I played six, on PC. Let's see, Soul Calibur 6, 2018.
So we're due for one.
I would say so. Yeah, I would definitely say so. I wonder if there is one in development right now.
Could you imagine they come out like a Soul Calibur collection?
Yes, please. That
Hey,
would
hey,
that would
hey,
rock.
hey, AAA companies, we're printing you money right now. Do a Soul
Yeah.
Calibur collection.
As of July of 2021, the series has sold over 17 million units. That's very damn impressive.
It's a classic, and like Nightmare is probably the most iconic character in the game.
I honestly I don't like using Nightmare. I don't like using characters that are so heavy. I like maneuverability in my
Yeah,
character.
but like Nightmare, like his power attacks were just brutal.
Did you see that Nightmare was used in Death Battle? I don't know if you like used to watch Death Battle regularly or still do.
Periodically, every so often.
It's an older one. Death It was a Nightmare versus Guts.
Oh
It
God.
was sick. It was nasty. That was my introduction to Guts, and I'm like, what the hell?
I'm gonna say is, folks, if you watch anime, I don't recommend Berserk for the faint of heart.
It's not. I wasn't ready. No
It's
bullshit.
it is like it's on the level of a Kami ga Kill.
Speaking of Death Battle, the newest one they just released was Ant-Man versus Atom.
Eh, you're gonna see.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be like, oh, we're big, we're small, we're big, we're small, we're big, we're small, we're normal.
Okay, that sounds kind of whack. But yeah, like going back to Soul Cal, I would absolutely not mind another game in that series. You know what other fighting series I miss, and it's a true OG because it was the first home 3D fighter, Virtua Fighter.
Yeah. Hey, I
Absolutely
thought
love
something.
that.
Do you think Soul Calibur is where Mortal Kombat got the idea to start including characters that were not originally in their like catalog?
Oh, I never thought about that actually.
Because like again, like Soul Calibur 3, they introduced Yoda.
Yeah, no, that was number four.
Was it 4?
Yeah, I have Soul Cal 3. No, it was number four.
But
And was it number five that had Ezio Auditory from Assassin's Creed?
Ezio?
Ezio. Mm.
Don't you don't mess with the goat of the Assassin's Creed.
Oh, my apologies to the Assassin's Creed fan base out
Uh,
there.
and then like I think the first character that was introduced that was not Mortal Kombat wasn't that Kratos?
I can't recall right off the top,
I just remember
but
Kratos was busted in the game he was in.
I would believe that. Let's see. Looking here at number five. Let's see, five. Yeah, number five had Ezio. I don't see a listing for Kratos
That was in
anywhere.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat. Also in Soul Cal 4 was Darth Vader.
Yep, I remember one console had Yoda, one had Vader.
And speaking of Soul Calibur, I read an article earlier is the top 10 Sega Dreamcast games of all time, and the first Soul Calibur was ranked number one as the
Yeah,
greatest as the greatest Dreamcast game ever.
I mean, doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all. And that's a console I truly miss. I've never known of a company to have worse timing than Sega.
It's
Like
just how it
they had
goes.
the best timing with the Genesis, dropping that and doing that dope ass Genesis does what Nintendo don't commercial that had that commercial had everybody in it. It had Joe Montana in it. It had Buster Douglas who just knocked out Tyson in the upset of the century. It had
Yep,
Michael Jackson in it for crying out loud.
yep,
I don't even want to know how much it cost just to film that commercial for everybody being in it. Because this was Joe Cool with 4 Super Bowl rings, Michael's Michael, and then you just got
yep,
the guy who became the heavyweight champion of the world. But they dropped with the Genesis, which was great. The timing of the Saturn was bad because then Sony dropped the PlayStation. The Dreamcast was an amazing console. I gave mine to Jared. I bought one and gave it to him, including all the games. I think I had Crazy Taxi, but soon after that, PlayStation 2,
yep,
and what and the Dreamcast had online play, but it did not have a DVD drive,
yep.
and that's what Sony had. Another thing we could thank Sega for with the Dreamcast is creating the one game franchise that has ruined more relationships than any franchise. NBA 2K.
Uh, have you seen Monopoly?
No, that just starts fights. That ruins families. That's different. Not relationships. Monopoly ruins families. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at my Monopoly game right now in my chest here, the Golden Girls Monopoly, and I still haven't had anybody to play it with yet.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't play with me.
Monopoly takes too damn long anyway.
I get when I was playing with my brother, my cousin, a couple of people. We had it done in 2 hours.
Yeah, I ain't got that kind of time, dude. Well,
That's short for a Monopoly game.
I know it
But
is,
here's
but even then, like, come on, bro.
we were cutthroat. I mean,
This is this is why
cutthroat.
we play. This is why we play like shit like Uno. Uno, in theory, should not take that long. But I remember one night we had a family game night, and we played what was called Giant Uno
Yep.
with these cards that were like as tall as me. You know, that'd be another fun thing to discuss. Is our favorite board games we grew up playing.
Oh God, that's a. I mean, me and Jared, we love our board games.
Yes, yes, you guys do.
Uh, Honestly, I thought of a fun idea. If we could ever get you, me, Jared, and the jeweler together, do a like maybe do a live stream of us playing Soul Calibur 2.
That would be a lot of fun. Or if we
But
find a
here's the
way
stipulation.
stipulation.
We're gonna do this as though it was a Smash tournament. Each player gets 3 bands.
Okay. All right. We could also do that with GoldenEye, to which all of you die.
Oh,
Nobody whoops my ass.
I'm not good with GoldenEye. I'm not. I admit that. I'm not good with it.
You should see me and Matt go to war some GoldenEye.
If you want to go to war, fucking, we'll play some Age Under Fire.
So this just
That's my shit.
I actually did away with that one. It wasn't my favorite Bond. I love Nightfire a lot.
Age Under Fire has really good multiplayer.
Okay, I'll give you for the multiplayer. Now I do have an extra controller. We can make that work if you ever, come down this way.
Here's the thing. My goal is to, within the next maybe few months, drop down to, if they still have down there, drop down Perryville and pick up an OG Xbox.
Yeah, with that deal you told me about, what was it?
I think it was 80, $90
for a GameCube and Xbox.
Oh no, 80, $90 a piece. It's about less than 200 for both.
But still, okay. Even then, no, that's a steal in itself.
Yep.
So I just thought about something with you talking about you're digging back into hip hop as of late. So I have a card game. I have a card game that is called Black Card Revote. So I just happened to open this up and think about what you said earlier. So I have a question for you, as you are not black. We're live here on Triple B is going to play a little bit of Black Card Revote. In what year did Cash Money Records take over?
96?
You know, get the hell out of here. You know this song. Back that ass up.
Oh my God.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000. Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
See, now, yeah, these cards, this game is hilarious, and like my family's all played it and everything. See, I don't live around enough black folks around here to have to play this with anybody. Now, this one you better know. A scrub is a blank.
I know the song. I don't remember the lyrics. Here's the thing, I don't know lyrics.
A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me.
From me.
Hanging on
It's a Shaggy song. Like, I know who sings it. It's Shaggy.
No, it's not. Oh, I hate you. That's TLC.
Oh my God.
I am kicking every bit of your ass.
Oh, go for it. Oh, that's a different song. I don't know all of the black artists that well. Here's the thing. I tend to gravitate to certain songs. I recognize certain songs. I couldn't tell you the label, the album, or anything like that.
I'm so disappointed in you. Like we got, I gotta fix this. Get some more black friends, bro.
Yeah.
This one is hilarious because I was just talking about this the other day. Because growing up, did you ever have Crown Royal bags in your house?
Nope.
Okay, so we did. I did not know for the longest time as a child that Crown Royal was alcohol. I thought it was what you kept change in. So with that being said, what's most likely to be found in a purple Crown Royal bag?
Dice?
No, cigarettes, weed, candy, loose change.
That's the difference. Here's the thing. A lot of gamers would get a bottle of Crown Royal because that bag now became a dice bag.
Actually, okay, I like that. That's another creative way. That's a non-Afrocentric answer. But for me, it was always loose change. But no, really, I think the predominant answer should be weed. Let's see. By what time did you have to be home when you were a kid?
When the streetlights came on.
There it is. You got one. Now, see, the other ones was when it got dark, 8 o'clock or midnight. Let's see. Out of these four, best television sitcom of all time: The Cosby Show, Martin, Good Times, or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Fresh Prince.
Martin. Bro, come on. All right, now this one would be something you could ask for your wife, for Rachel. A woman can never have too many blank.
Shoes.
That's one of the choices. The other ones were bags, men, or options. You better keep your eyes open.
Oh, what's funny is when I showed Rachel what I was kind of like in my like for 2 weeks straight, I was like in a Trick Daddy mood. I kid you not, for almost 2 weeks straight, I listened to Bet That on
You know,
repeat.
when you put me onto that song, I was like, I fuck with this. Now
Uh,
my introduction to Trick Daddy was Nan. You don't
but
know Nan?
here's the thing: Rachel didn't know what that crunk music was a thing.
Okay, I think the world of your wife, but I could totally tell that she ain't listening to no kind of nothing. I could
Oh,
tell. That's a thing.
she listens to more stuff like that than I do. It's certain like well more newer stuff or whatnot, but like she didn't know that crunk music was a thing. She's like yeah, this is crunk music. She's like, what's? She looked it up and she's like, oh, she's only ever heard it in like crunk in music. She didn't know that it was actual genre.
This is why two Americas are a real thing. We grew up in two different worlds. But crunk music, okay, in high school, no bullshit. In high school, I really thought I was trying to be something like that. Like there would be dudes that would put like what we would do is we would take the tint or the foil from a gum wrapper and
Yep.
pretend that we made a grill out of that shit and be like, you know, and all
Yeah.
that nonsense. And everybody listened to Mike Jones, you
Who?
know, my what's that phone number? 281
Uh,
330
dude.
8004. Everybody was about that. And you
Speaking of
know,
that, the best experience I ever had with that name, Mike Jones, was back between my junior and senior high school. I went to an event called Missouri Boys Day. It's where some of the brightest minds, high schoolers, go and to create their own mock government from city
uh-huh.
level, county level to state level.
Okay.
The and the former last year's governor came back. Guess what his name was?
Mike Jones. That's hilarious.
So I want you to imagine this guy comes in and everybody he says Mike Jones. Everybody says who?
Yes. That is the best. Now that's the sign of of kids who had a good ass teenage years. Everybody needs to know who is Mike. No. Come on. That was the equivalent of yelling "I'm Rick James, bitch" down the hallway in high school.
Yep.
And also, can we
Or
get that?
or
Can we?
what's up?
Well, if you know, you know. And since
Yep.
we are nostalgia personified, you definitely know. That would be another fun one to discuss our favorite commercials from our
I
childhood. The
think
ones
we
that just
have discussed that.
have we had that one?
I think so.
Because you mentioned "well up" and it got me thinking of the Taco Bell dog and
Tequila
uh,
Taco Bell.
yeah, and the Keystone Light bitter beer face commercials, which are very accurate because that is a terrible beer to begin
Yep.
with.
Uh.
Or Ricola with the dude playing the thing.
Yep.
Ricola.
Yep. God, this
But
episode's just been all over the place.
isn't it? See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we sound like on the phone. This is just
It
how we
is.
are. And
We
some
just kind
days
of
we
go all over the
just
place.
and to this morning we're just cutting it up and shooting the shit.
Or just
Uh,
giving you some to like go. This episode is pretty much us just talking about some nostalgic stuff, discussing some gaming news or nerd news, or any part of it. Like, and here in a little bit, I want to like talk some movies or whatnot coming up.
yeah, definitely.
So like,
Oh,
but oh man, I definitely think we have talked about commercials before.
okay. Well, yeah, we'll say we have then. And I just thought of Crossfire, and that's another thing. Jingles that live rent free in your head.
We did that one too.
Crossfire. Yeah,
That's
get up in there.
from our stand, like that board game was like atrocious, but
It
that
was so
jingle.
bad. But dude, here's the thing. I didn't know that until my late 20s. I didn't realize how mid the actual game of Crossfire is.
That jingle made you want to have it.
It really does. It makes it feel like you're in some post apocalyptic run by kids world, which I mean the 90s kind of
Oh,
is run by kids.
the Super Soaker commercials.
Epic.
Like you, but the thing was like those Super Soakers were legit compared to like the cheapos you could get.
No, yeah, no joke. I really wanted like to have. I wanted Super Soakers as a kid, but you can only get what you can get. But they made everything was made to seem bigger than it was for the purpose of selling you something. And to that decade's credit, they did a great job with,
Yep.
marketing to kids. If it's even if it's zany and outlandish, did a damn good job. I gotta give them credit there. Shit. Um, and folks will always, as always, let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about when we get back. When we get Mr. Moss back, we will
Mr.
Moss man. I
Mossman.
say I got yeah, whichever. You motherfuckers' names are too damn close. No wonder y'all are so close. But when we
I
get
mean,
Jared back on
I
when we
mean, I
get
don't know if
Jared
I
back
told you
on the
this.
show, yeah, we're gonna be discussing some Disney songs like we had planned previously. But what did you have
This
to say,
is
sir?
I say like I don't know if you know this, but like me and Jared's joke, what we've joked about this a lot is essentially was whenever I went over to his house, I gained the man. Whenever he came over to my house, he lost the man.
What was it? I think you guys were having a conversation not too long ago, basically about how although you and Rachel are husband and wife, like you and Jared are like each other's Jay and Silent Bob. Y'all are each other's hetero life mates. Like he's had more experience. You've had more experience taking care of him,
Yep.
and he's had more experience taking care of you than y'all's wives have.
Yep.
So
Like
like whenever they have questions about something, honestly, they why doesn't Miranda call you and then Rachel call Jared?
I don't know.
For hell, when all else fails, call me. I
Yep.
I think I know a few things about taking care of Jared.
Yep. But the unfortunate thing is this. Jared is one of the most stubborn people you'll ever meet. When he's got something in his head, you can't tell him otherwise.
I Yeah, he's probably the most stubborn man I know. Quite frankly, I know a lot more women more stubborn than him. Just saying. But he is literally, when it comes to his mentality, he can be the biggest bull in the china shop because once he's set on it, get out of his way.
Yep. It's hard to
Absolutely.
tell him no too.
And you know what? Just it's not even worth it. Just hey,
No.
let him do what he does.
Yep.
But we'll be happy to have him back soon. Also today, as of recording, WWE's Night of Champions is about to take place in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So I will be watching that, and then we'll have I'll have some thoughts on that in a few days. We'll jump back on here and give my thoughts on that show. It's a loaded. It's a for a Saudi show. It's quite a loaded card. Very much looking forward to that. There's just a lot going on in wrestling, as a matter of fact, which we will be addressing on Riffin and Wrestling down the road with Jared and Matt. And
Oh,
that's a
speaking of
lot of fun.
wrestling, you mentioned the other day, AEW's game is finally launching.
Yes, yes, that's right. Fight Forever is finally launching. It is available for pre-order right now and pre-installation. I saw some screenshots of it. Basically, the people who are making this Ukes, before we wrap things up, Ukes
Oh,
is
before
making
no,
this.
there's two movies I want to talk about before we wrap things up. But
Oh,
after
shoot.
this, I want to talk about two movies real quick.
Yeah, well, I'll make this one quick and give you the stage. Ukes is making Fight Forever. Ukes are the same people that were behind the SmackDown versus Raw series and the iconic WWF No Mercy.
So
So
this
the
should
game
be a good game.
is going to be. Now, I saw some screenshots, and it has enough blood for to be. You could call this game Doom.
Do
It's
they have
obscene.
the death match in it?
I I I don't know actually. But I'd absolutely believe it simply
I mean,
because
if they do, that'll be the first first wrestling game to have a death match in it.
yeah, probably really, yeah, because you don't get those here, and I don't even think you get those in. Um, oh, yep, here it is. Um, let's see, 9 match types, including singles, tags, ladders, the casino battle royale, and the exploding barbed wire death match. Hopefully, the pyro works, unlike in the real match.
Yep.
The game also features online play and intergender wrestling, the first game made by Uke since SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 to feature intergender wrestling, set to release June 29th. Dang it, they got me again.
Yep.
So that'd be on the wrestling front. Now, Byron, you got a couple of films you want to talk
Yep.
about, so you go ahead,
Yep.
brother.
It got announced a couple weeks ago, but the Meg 2 is gonna happen.
I've never seen the first one.
It's not bad. It's so the Meg is based off of a book series by Steve Alton. Great novels. I have all but the last one. Uh, It's essentially premises. What if the Meg never disappeared? Was actually living deep in the ocean. Now the first
Okay.
one, so the first one, it deviates quite a bit from the book, but it's still enjoyable. The second one is it's a loose adaptation. It's a loose inspiration. Uh, all I say is watch the trailer. You're gonna see Jason Statham put his foot on a fucking massive shark's face.
Holy crap! Well, I mean, it's Jason Statham.
Yeah, and the opening the music for the trailer is Barracuda.
Fitting. Love
Yeah,
that.
so like here's the thing. It's gonna be a summer blockbuster, whatever you want to call it. Like, is it gonna do super great? Is it gonna be a super amazing movie? No. Is it gonna be a fun movie? Yes.
Well, that'd definitely be worth going to see in theaters. You're going to convince the wife to go with you.
No, she won't see it with me.
Well, you'll have to tell. What do you have a release date for that?
I think it's in June.
Let's take a look. We can find that out real quick.
I think like June 26th.
All right, let us see when that is. Meg to the Trench, August 4th.
Oh, August 4th. I was off by a few days. It's fine.
Oh, if anything, I know that the score is going to be epic. It's done by Harry Gregson Williams, who did the soundtrack to The Rock and Armageddon and Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. So there's that. So what else you got on your mind?
Well, this weekend, and next time we convene, I will be reviewing The Machine. It
All
is
right, well,
a
focus in on that.
movie. It's a movie based off of a comedy bit that Bert Kreischer did in one of his specials, and essentially it's how his whole story and whatnot got blown up way out of proportion in Russia, and he has to go back.
Oh,
And
that's going to be funny. I like him.
and the person playing his father is Mark Hamill.
Ah, yes.
I highly recommend watching the trailer. You literally see Mark Hamill doing lines of coke. Like,
I, I think I'm okay with this.
yes, looks like it's like I said. Is it gonna be a blockbuster, like a oh my god $1 billion movie? No. Is it gonna be funny as hell? Oh yeah.
It actually released yesterday.
Yep. And I will be watching it on Monday. While the wife is at work, I will go watch me a movie.
You will absolutely have to tell us all about it, and
I
we'll.
will. I highly recommend it. Like I say, I've not seen anything from what I've seen of it. It looks funny. If you've ever seen any of Bert's stand up stuff, the man is hilarious. Like it'll be a fun watch.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the film after you go see it. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up, tie a bow off on this on us just shooting the shiznit here and talking turkey on a little bit of everything on Triple B's. We'll have Jared back on next episode, and once again, Byron's gonna be doing movie reviews for us coming up for the Machine, and then he'll be going to see the Meg 2 when that drops later this summer. So we'll
Yep.
definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. Night of Champions, Sweet Saudi Money. I forget what edition. This one will be Electric Boogaloo. Will be taking place here in a little bit for WWE. A lot of great stuff in wrestling, tons of great stuff in gaming and it's entertainment. And we cross all your. We hopefully we tickled your nostalgia soul today, your nostalgic soul, and we had a lot of fun. This was great as always,
Yeah,
man.
I enjoyed this.
You know, we'll definitely we got to get the man back on here, and also we sprinkled in some anime, and I learned some shit today too.
Yep.
So,
And honestly, like if you got if you like like looking over some like the top 10 best whatever lists or whatnot, like send us some links and we'll be more than happy to look at it and give us our opinion on some of the stuff.
absolutely, remember, follow us. We're at beards and bros underscore bros on Twitter. Find us there. We're on Facebook, also on YouTube. The Beards, Brews, and Bros podcast on YouTube, which this will be going up there very shortly. So feel free, help the brothers out. Shoot, we trying
Yep.
to shoot, this is a business, if you will, the American dream. That's the road here. Trying to tell you to check these feathers out. They're so sweet and so pretty, baby. I once did. I want to tell you once on the radio. I actually did a Dusty Rhodes impersonation. Every once in a while, I would do like wrestler impersonations to
Oh,
promote me.
tell me you did a Randy Savage one.
I don't remember, but I tell you what, brother, you gotta check out these fellas on what do you call it here? Beards, brews, and bros, yeah. I hear that they're the cream of the crop that always rises to the top, tickling every bit of your nostalgia bones in the 1990s. Great time period for the macho man and the NWO and the madness. Yeah, something like that.
Excellent.
No, I did do a Razor Ramon one on Z95 one night. Like, hey, yo, Bonehead Nation, you gotta check out my man K-Rob here. He gets all the ladies, all the ones that the Chico here doesn't get. I gotta pass them on to my man K-Rob. Check him out, 7 to midnight, Z95. Yo, something like that. So, even wrestling legends are telling you to check us out. So you gotta
Yep.
do. So,
Yep.
but as for us, got a Saturday. I got company coming in. The daughter's still asleep, so I'm gonna go wake her up.
I've got to go do chores at some point in time, but
Yeah,
then I got to run my Vampire the Masquerade game tonight.
so you have
Hopefully,
fun with
hopefully,
that.
hopefully nobody dies. Can't guarantee that.
That would always be a nice thing. But folks, once again, we thank you so much for listening and all of your continued support as we are still on the road to first milestone, 1,000 subscribers. We're gonna get there with your support. We can't thank you enough. So for the man, Mr. Byron Moss, I'm K-Rob. We do what we do here. Remember, be kind and always rewind. We'll see you next time on Triple B's. Peace.
Have a good day.